Yes people, welcome to Chop Shoppin Episode 2. This is a series where we invite selectors down into a vinyl shop, give them a budget, you can pick out the sickest record. So today, we've got one other pair that we're inviting. With his latest release, It's Time to Party. You'll see him on the faces of Syntho across the YouTubes over the past couple of years. So welcome in, ADR.
How's it going, mate?
Good to have you on.
Sweet, man.
Extremely good. Pleasure.
Cool. So before we even get stuck in, to be honest, I think I've spotted the Inner City. Yeah, man.
Very good pick.
Yeah, I know. Like Inner City, I've got a copy of Good Fun. It's a lot more better than this.
Yeah.
So I think it's the second I saw that, it's like actually, you know what?
Yeah,
I feel like this has to be in the mix, you know.
Normally, what type of genres would you go for when you're digging through vinyl?
I mean, minimal is a very broad term these days, but kind of sort of not too in your face, but kind of lots of synths going on. I feel like is the big one for me. So with the energy behind it as well, I feel like that's
a lot in your music and your release. That
yeah,
a lot of, backgrounds.
Yeah, like I think what I create and release, etc. Like I think that's a reflection of all the music that I really enjoy as well. You know, my music is a real compilation of all the music that and sounds that I enjoy as well. Because sometimes as well there can be certain sounds that I love from certain things that don't necessarily translate into stuff that I want to play. I'm pleased to be in a position where I can make the music that I enjoy.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, I think 100%. As a producer, that's what you want to do ultimately, is actually make music you enjoy.
And you want to have that uniqueness as well about yourself as a producer.
Yeah, fully. Because I think that just comes from a developed taste.
Definitely. When you were getting into music, what was your first type of genres you were looking for? Did you start around R&B, hip hop, or was it straight house, breakbeat?
When I first got into production was actually through dubstep.
Oh yeah.
So I was a real big dubstep head back in the day, like early Scream, like Banger and everything like this, and like that was what kind of itched my brain enough to go, I want to learn how to produce and make these sort of sounds. I've always been around a lot of electronic music, like Kraftwerk, 808 State.
Oh yeah, okay.
So those are big influences back in the day for me. And then I went to my first rave and just fell in love, man, literally. And then I was like, this is home for me, you know. Yeah. I saw Sante back-to-back Sydney Charles. It was at Eastern Electrics in 2015. Yeah. I was 16 at the time, so I just got in with as a photocopy of a mate's passport. And it wasn't even, I mean, they didn't even ask me for ID, but it just wouldn't have worked if they had asked me for ID.
That's a proper raver story. Like every raver's got that type of story.
Yeah, exactly. But then that was it really for me. And so there was also Steve Lawler, Richie Ahmed, Scream, and Jamie Jones. Yeah. It was unreal lineup, and then I just fell in love, man. Yeah. And since then, it was like this is me. Yeah. And I might even just add these to the mix just to flick through, you know. Yeah. I mean this is a W. Cool, man. Like it's very kind of like breaky, like bit sort of almost broken to the sounds and everything. And again, it's less something I'd play as an artist, but at the same time, this kind of just sounds I really enjoy. You know, OCB and Casa Voyager both. An amazing producer and also an unreal label. Another one of my favourite producers, Kosh, releases on Casa Voyager a lot. So I feel like it's kind of something when I see it, I'm like, I've got to kind of get involved, you know. And again, it's kind of like sometimes it's just records you want for you. Another great records. Again, not really stuff necessarily that I'm playing in my sets. Also just great music, to be honest.
I feel like recently, in recent days, a lot of people, like you said before about the minimal music being a wide range, I feel like people get quite lost in naming and labelling songs.
Yeah, I think tech house became a bit of a no-no word because of amongst some people. Yeah, exactly. You know, and it's actually like ultimately it's all just tech house, really. You know, like minimal is like very properly minimal. You know, but it's just something to think about when you're kind of like flicking through these places. Like I remember going, okay, well, minimal, deep house. That will get you really different stuff. I think this is the only one that's actually, I think this is already ready to go, but these...
The walk there?
Yeah, it was.
Cool, then I'll go for those albums.
Perfect, top man, thank you, mate.
Happy with your picks?
Yeah, 100%,
Very
man.
good.
Got some nice little selections.
Very good. So we were speaking about your inspirations and what music you're into, but how long have you been producing for?
So I think we've actually hit the 12-year mark now. I started when I was like 14. I actually sacked off a day at school to download FL Studio.
Yeah.
I just basically didn't get on the bus and went home and then made my first ever song. And that was it really for me. Like I was stuck in, but it's always just something that I've wanted to do. I want to learn how to do that.
Creative process.
And then, to be honest, like from such an early age, it was just tunnel vision on music, you know.
Yeah. Did you start on FL? Are you still on FL producing or?
Nah. So I started on FL because that was just what I first learned about first. Really, it was just kind of, I didn't know about anything else. It took me ages to know even what Ableton was, and then, but now I'm on Ableton and. If anyone's seen my Syntho videos and whatnot, it's like I think that's I live and breathe Ableton. If you know what I mean, man.
How did you get into the Syntho side? Did somebody contact you first, or?
So Josh was looking for someone to be a tutor and actually be a part of the team and everything like that, and I kind of put myself forward. Done a lot of kind of one-to-one stuff, you know, and everything like that, and like both from the technical and the creative side of things, like both parts I enjoy about the music production process, you know. So I was kind of like, you know,
that's good.
Put myself forward, and here we are now, man.
Yeah, are you all self-taught, or have you got a musical, you know, educational background in production?
So I mean, it's kind of a bit of both in that sense, because I have a degree in production and sound engineering. I also did it at college as well, but then I suppose from the technical side of things, you know, I had a bit more traditional training in that sense. But then at the same time, there wasn't really anyone doing house music. You know, like I was around people who were into bands and hip hop and all these sorts of things like that. So it was very much just me kind of doing my own thing there. So, you know, I very much just stuck in and just made as much music as possible. And
just getting the XP up, trying to see what
exactly.
You can make.
Exactly that, man.
So speaking back to how we was talking about Syntho before, how do you feel like that's helped your career, you know, as an artist?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of different aspects. I think even just being on camera, developing that skill, never thought I'd really be the person to be on camera, you know. Like, it's a real kind of step out of my comfort zone. So that's really developed those skills to be able to then also have my own artist content and everything.
Yeah, 100%.
And also playing a part in other people's music production journeys is quite surreal sometimes, you know. You know, now I go to a rave and a lot of people will actually stop me to say...
That feels good as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's great, because then one, I get to chat to other people about music. I think that's something that I could always do all day long, is chat to people about music, you know.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
like, it's really great to actually see that in person, you know. Ultimately, I'm just looking at a camera. We don't actually see how that impacts other people.
No.
I think it's really cool. It's really cool, man.
That's good. That's always like with your Syntho, it's like you've been meeting all these top tier artists, like you said. How's it been knowing now you feel like you're getting into that scene now? You know, in the likes of Josh Baker, you've been speaking to the people, like you're getting plays off the likes of Rossi and Enzo. How does that feel?
You look up to these artists, and they also have the blueprint, the template for who you want to be as an artist.
Yeah.
Like, I think artists like Gene on Earth as well, I feel like really resonate with me, both from a production sense and also what they do as an artist outside of the music as well. You know, building that community, like what Rossi does with Homegrown as well.
Yeah,
I feel like,
his home as well.
Yeah, exactly, and the same with Enzo, and how you can be both an incredible producer and an artist, run a party, but also be like an incredible person as well.
Yeah.
You know, really showing up and being a top tier person through the industry, you know. To then consider those people as peers is amazing.
Yeah, I feel like it's good to get them to know them on a personal level instead of
exactly, and
you know, just as an artist itself.
It's amazing, and to have these kind of nods of respect from those sorts of artists. And again, other people like Chris Dussy, for example, there's an element of huge inspiration from those people.
Yeah.
Again, not even just necessarily sound-wise, like sonically, you know, but also just, again, who they are as artists. And then it's about taking those sorts of ideas and then how can I use that as inspiration for who I want to be as an artist myself. You know?
That's good. That's very good.
So my first record that I went for is the Inner City Future. This is actually some remixes from Defected. Really cool. Love a bit of Inner City. So yeah, I had to pick this one up. Next went into Time Is Now, which is Interplanetary Criminal. This is actually Time Is Now number 2, so probably early on in the label. And Yeah, I mean, I have quite a few Times Now records in my collection, so I feel like I had to do this. Plus, a bit of red vinyl as well, so it was like a nice piece to the collection I've got. Then when we moved over to Vinyl Exchange, I had to go for an EP from the GOAT, obviously, Enzo Siragusa. Big inspiration for me always, and it's been actually a bit of a mentor for me as well. This is Fabric EP, and I love this, man. It's just so good. He's got like the B-side is a real breaky number as well, which I remember him talking about in his Fabric interview. He played this and trying to like squeeze in a moment to play it. So yeah, this is when I saw this, I just thought I had to get it. I had to get it. Then we've gone for an East End Dubs EEE edit, literally just one side as well. The other side's completely blank. This is just like a heavy tune, really nice sort of edit and everything. And East End Dubs gave me my first ever vinyl release on Belief, so it's kind of like it was a bit of a full circle moment to kind of pick this up, you know. By the way, I only actually got a few. I had to spend a lot of my own money on this because I wasn't taking any liberties with spending all this money on vinyl. So then I picked up another bit from Sosa. I actually knew Jay from back in the day, and this is just like a slammer EP. So again, it was just kind of like, and to be honest, I'm not sure you can see this, but like, look at this, like, it's genuinely insane. The B side is actually my favorite side as well. Like the B1 track is just wicked. So, and then kind of in completely outside of house music, I've also got an MF Doom album, Food, which I love MF Doom. It's one of my favourite hip-hop artists. And like, I've been meaning to pick this album up for a long time. So this one's just for my personal collection. I listen to a lot of hip-hop outside of house music, so I was like, had to be done. And then finally, which was the kind of rare gem that picked up, was actually Tainted by Slum Village. Slum Village is probably my favourite hip-hop group of all time. And Dan and I are actually going to go see Slum Village in like November time together, which is sick. And then I also picked up some sleeves as well, just to kind of keep my records safe and everything. But yeah, a nice little selection. Big ups to the guys for having me down to choose these. It's been really cool. Sorry, pardon me for swearing, but you might have to edit that out. But yeah, this really happy with what I've got, and I can't wait to play these when I'm cooking or when I'm playing them out.
So absolute pleasure to have you on.
Thanks for having me.
Special pick with that MF Doom album, I rate that.
Yeah,
no, switch it up.
I know I went a bit overboard, but you know, it had to be done.
It's got to be done, mate. So you happy with the pick stuff?
100%, man. You know, I didn't want to take any liberties with how much you were having with my budget, so I had to put some of my own money in to do that. But I'm super happy, man. I love going for a dig, man. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah,
top man.
And our second guest that we're inviting on, with his other release, Talk to Me, welcoming Outten. It's nice to meet you, mate.
It's lovely to meet you. How you doing? You okay?
Yeah.
Pleasure to be here, mate.
So I was trying to first thing kick things off. What got you into music? What was your first inspiration?
Wow, that is a good question. First thing that got me into music, I mean, I've always been around it since I was younger. Like my parents, especially my mum, she's always loved just like that sort of house went raving when she was younger, do you know what I mean? So it was, without almost realising, you're sort of getting them sort of influences seeping into your brain from young. I started getting into like drum and bass when I was like 14, 15. Went to a few like little dodgy squat raves, and then started going to more house raves when I got a little bit older. I actually had an ID, them sort of things. And then from there it was like, I love this music, I want to be a part of this music.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. And even just like the community side of it, it was like, how can I make this everything I want to do for the rest of my life? Big ups to mum and dad, mate.
Big ups to mum and dad. How long ago was it that you started producing, getting into DJing? Did you start DJing first or producing first?
I kind of did them at the same sort of time. So when I started going to normal raves when I was 18, I was like, right, well, I want to do this now for the rest of my life. So I bought decks, and then it was kind of like, well, I know that you can't really, in this day and age, be a standout DJ without also producing. And I was also just really interested in the whole perspective of like actually creating my own stuff, you know?
Like we always look at like art, you look at it as an artwork, an art form. It's your piece of music you're creating, telling the people how you make music. I think it's your perception on making music, which I like, that's good.
It's like personality. I mean, it took a good few years before anything like was good enough, but like your personality starts to shine through, I think, in your records. Like when once you've put the hours in and stuff like that. But that's going back about 7-8 years now. So it's been a while.
You recently moved into Manchester. How are you finding that scene in the city?
Mate, the pub, innit? It has been the single best decision I've made in my life. Like quality of life has just gone up from here to here. I mean, we're both the same, me and Ant. Like we obviously live together now. have been for the last, I think it's like 6-7 months now.
Yeah.
So it's been a fair amount of time, but also no time at all, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, you've only just started your journey.
I know.
Just started
A lot's happened in that time, but it's just been unreal, man.
Yeah,
it's just the scene. I feel at home here already, you know.
That's good to hear that.
So,
You've obviously been smashing the tunes out. You've had 2 huge ones recently. How did it feel?
Thank you.
How did it feel seeing Chris Dussy opening up with your tune?
do you know what? That was a mad one,
Big
because
moment.
it was a big moment, to be fair, because we weren't even really expecting that Good Luck to be the one he was, because he'd been playing Time to Party all the time. So we were kind of like, all right, we were sort of expecting him to play that, and he didn't. But then he opened like with Good Luck. I remember so vividly. It was like 5:45 in the morning. I'd had my alarm set because obviously it's in America, innit?
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, all right, I'm going to try and wake up. I'm so bad at waking up in the mornings anyway.
Yeah, not a morning person.
Not at all, mate. But then as soon as like he came on, I heard the hat and I was like instantly awake. I was like, that's my tune. That's all tune, I should say. Yeah. And then I remember I didn't want to like run in on Ant's room, but I just remember messaging him in better times, just like, he's played our tune. And then from that, it was like, right.
So did you blow up? Like, what was it like after that? Did you get a lot more support?
Yeah, especially on that record. It really like he's done a lot for us with that, and it's been incredible. Like the amount of support we've been getting. It's so nice to know that like obviously we love the music that we're making, but it's also nice to then get that, I guess, validation elsewhere. Not that you need it, but it is also.
No, it's definitely nice. I feel like it gives you motivation, kick up the
mate,
backside.
without a doubt.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
Very good. What are we saying here? What have you got so far?
So, just to be honest, a lot of random digs, but
it's the right labels.
Yeah, you know what?
They're
sometimes exactly that. If it's calling out to me, it's calling out, and I just trust my judgment.
Yeah, definitely.
I like it when you don't know much about it, but it's mysterious, you know. So I know we don't really make much of it, but I've got a big soft spot for garage as well.
Garage, mate, top tier.
Yeah,
you can never go wrong.
Maybe, get on that. And then to be fair amount here already. So
let's go. Let's give these a listen. Let's see what we're saying.
Yeah. I think for me, the main one so far, I was like, I want to make sure, do you know what I mean? But I think the best one has been that garagey one so far.
Perfect. Oh.
Nice one.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you've got to be happy with your purchases?
I'm more than happy with my purchases, mate. Just a couple of little more garagey numbers. Again, it's always been something that speaks to me. Not necessarily something that I'm making a lot of at the moment, but you can always appreciate these sort of records. So very happy with these. Perfect. Excited to get these just played on repeat back in the flats, really.
Definitely. So we talked about your inspirations. You've got House of Media.
Yeah.
How did you get into that? How did you feel like you needed to, launch something like that? Because I think it's a good concept. Everything.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, to be honest, mate, it was kind of like I loved going out raving.
Yeah.
Had loads of content from the raving, and I just wanted to sort of create almost a community of people like-minded, love that sort of thing as well. I didn't really know anyone, and I thought like it was going to be a good opportunity for me to actually add a bit of value to other people's lives, like not just be someone knocking on doors and being like, what can they do for me? It's like, what can I actually do for other people?
Yeah.
And actually then, having a platform enabled that, really.
When we're talking about inspirations, who would you say your main producers are that inspired your sound?
Oh, have you heard of a guy called ADR?
Yeah, I've heard of a guy. He's a nice guy, isn't he?
No, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Well, obviously that's a good guy. Sweely as well. Like, he's just a magician with all these sort of things. I'm trying to think who else, man. It's hard because it sort of changes. It changes all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely Sweely. I think anyone that can really just like put their own personality into the records that they make and stuff, really.
Yeah, he does. I love Sweely because how he's got his live sets. Most of his sets are live. It's all on drum machines, his Rolands and stuff.
Yeah,
I just feel like there's just more of a raw feel to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So when you're talking about producing, what would you be, your motivation? You set up. You open up Ableton.
Yes.
What's your foundations to your tracks?
Do you know what? They're like, ever since working more with ADR, it's definitely changed. And I think there isn't really a foundation. It's kind of just like whatever we're feeling in that moment.
I feel that's a good approach to
yeah, for sure. Because I think, for me at least, I used to definitely get stuck in, right, I'm going to start with this, like start with drums, then get a bass down, then X, Y, and Z. Whereas now it's more like just being open to whatever sounds good in that moment, you know.
I feel like when people, you know, people are getting introduced and like you said, they get stuck on your drums, but then, you know, you're scrolling for ages looking for a sample hat.
Yeah,
and your kicks, and you're trying to master all them, and it just gets caught up in you. I feel like you lose a lot of valuable time whenever something comes to your mind. I think you should just get it down on the canvas. Exactly,
like your creative energy is proper precious, and it's like when you are just spending time flicking through, whether that be for samples, it can really get like fatiguing almost. I'm very conscious of trying to make sure that process is as streamlined as possible.
Yeah, definitely. That's good. That's good. When you terms of your writers block, what would you say is your best solution? Do you have a solution?
That's such a good question.
You know,
I think
some people have certain remedies. You know, they go outside, they go for a walk.
Yeah. I think not being too precious about stuff as well, and just being like actually sometimes trying a different genre of music, and not just making stuff because you think like, oh, this is what people want to hear. Like for me, if I'm not feeling it, I'll try and make something more, I don't know, more breaky. Or even there's been a few times where I'll get on the liquid drum and bass, you know, like not stuff that I'd ever release, but
no, but it's good to switch up.
Just getting in the flow. Exactly that. Exactly that. So first one I got was from Main Phase on a label that I love called Time Is Now. One of those ones that just makes your face screw up, just underground, dark, garage. Second one I went for from Wookie, a lot more old school, again underground. Both sides, to be fair, were just speaking to me. So buzzing with this one, one that I can definitely see myself playing out, not just one that I want to listen to for those underground sort of clubs. And then finally, I don't even know what this is called. All I can say is Basics on the front, but it's not just basic. It does the job. So that is my 3 records that I've got. So thank you for having me down. Buzzing to get these out and actually play them when I'm playing out.
So, happy with your picks?
More than happy, mate.
Good. I've seen you got a couple of garage numbers from the Eastern Bloc.
Absolutely.
Very, very good. I'm happy. So, I would say the day's been overall.
Oh, it's been a fantastic day. Honestly,
it's been a pleasure to have you on.
The pleasure's been all mine. Thank you so much for having us down. It's been a great day with the team. Won't be the last thing we do together.
Definitely, mate, definitely. Thanks for tuning in to episode 2. If you've not seen episode 1, please check that out in the link in the bio. Absolute pleasure to have the ADR Outten on. They've been absolute gentlemen picking the vinyls. Make sure you follow them on socials. The links will be in the bio as well. And again, tune in for the next episode.